Hello student, today I am taking class 9 biology, chapter 6 tissue. Now my dear students, early we studied about the plant tissues. In this I already explained you about the mesmatic tissue and permanent tissue. Do you know in mesmatic tissue, as you know, it is called the growth tissue, and we have studied about apical meristem, intercalary and lateral meristem. Now in permanent tissue it is divided into two parts, simple permanent and complex. We already studied about the simple permanent tissue. We studied parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and then protective tissues we studied epidermis and cork. Now you see the stomata diagram, guard cell and epidermal cell, these are called the guard cell, these are called epidermal cell, these are the stoma and guard cell. When we see this TS section of this mesmatic tissue, see these are the part, it is called apical meristem, these are found in the root tip and shoot tip. Next, these are intercalary meristems, these are located near nodes and internodes. It helps increasing in the branches and these help in the growth apical. These are the lateral meristem. It helps increasing the girth of the stem. See here apical meristem is located in the top of the shoot system and here in the root system. Now these are the section of the stem. This is called epidermis and this one is called hypodermis and this is called the cortex. And see these are endodermis, these are called pericycle and these are the phloem, these are the cambium, these are the medullary rays, these are the xylem and these are the vascular bundle and these are the pith. Now today we are going to study about the complex permanent tissue. Do you know how it will be formed? Complex permanent tissue, it is made up of more than one type of cells having a common origin. Do you know the cells look different from each other, unlike the simple permanent tissue in which cells are similar in appearance and it is of different appearance. All the cells they coordinate and perform a common function. What are the types of permanent tissue? There are two types of complex permanent tissue, xylem and the phloem. Both of them are called conducting tissues and they constitute the vascular bundle. Do you know? This is the distinct features of complex plants which provide them possibility for the survival in the terrestrial environment. We are going to study about xylem. What is called the xylem tissue? The cell of the xylem have thick wall and many of them are dead. Now, it is responsible for the only transportation of waters and it also help in the transportation of minerals from the roots to other part of the plants. Now, do you know xylem consists of various types of elements which are as follows. First one is the tracheids. See, do you know these are dead, long, tubular structure with tapering ends. Do you know they transport waters and minerals vertically. Now, vessels. It is a long tube-like structure which is formed by row of cells and they are placed end to end. Now, these are also dead cell, but they are having lignified walls. They also help in conduction of the water. Next one is xylem parenchyma. These are only a living cells of xylem with thin cell walls. It stores food and help in the sideways conduction of water. Next is the xylem fiber. They are elongated, they are dead cells with tapering ends and thick cell wall. These are fibers associated with xylems and supportive in functioning of xylem. Next we are taking the phloem. Now, what is the main function? It transports food from the leaves to other parts of the plants. Materials can move in both direction in it. All the phloem cells, the phloem is made up of four types of elements. The first one is sieve tube. Do you know these are tubular cells with perforated walls and they have thin layer of cytoplasms. Second one is companion cell. These are small elongated cells having thin walls which are not perforated. Next, third one is phloem fibers. They provide mechanical strength to the tissue. Next one is phloem parenchyma. They help in the storage and slow lateral conduction of food. Now, early we studied about meristematic tissue. So, we are going to study here what are the difference between this meristematic and permanent tissue. See, in meristematic tissue we will study, see, the cells divide repeatedly. Cells are undifferentiated and intercellular spaces are absent on it. Vacuoles are absent. Cells have dense cytoplasm. Cells are always living and cell wall of these cells are very thin. Cell walls are thin. Now permanent tissue. These cells are differentiated from the meristematic tissue and normally it do not divide. Cells are fully differentiated and intercellular space are present. Vacuoles are present. Cells have thin layered cytoplasm around the vacuoles. Cells may be living or dead. Cell wall of its cells are be thick or thin. Now we had finished this plant tissue. Now I am taking the animal tissue. Do you know, on the basis of functions they perform, animal tissues are classified into four basic types, namely epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissue. First one is epithelial tissue. Do you know, the covering or protective tissue in the animal body, these are called epithelial tissue. It is simplest protective tissue of the animal body. It covers most organs and cavities of the body. Do you know, it forms a barrier to keep the different body systems separated from each other. Cells are tightly packed and intercellular space between them. They have very small amount of cementing materials between them. The epithelium, do you know, it is separated from underlying tissue by an extracellular fibrous basement membrane containing collagen. On the basis of shape of the cells and their arrangement, epithelial tissues are further classified as squamous epithelium. See, do you know the skin which protects the body, it is also made up of squamous epithelium tissue. It is further categorized as, first one is simple squamous epithelium tissue. See, the cells are very thin, they are flat and appears as tiles over a floor, like that it looks. It is a single layer and closely fitted. Do you know? It forms a delicate linings of blood vessels and lungs alveoli, where substance or transport occur through a selectively permeable membrane. Do you know? It also covers esophagus and lining of the mouth. Striated squamous epithelium. See the structure? See. Do you know? The cells are arranged mainly in layers. It prevents their wear and tear. Do you know? It is found in the outer side of the skin and it is highly resistant to mechanical injury and it is waterproof. Cuboidal epithelium, third one. See, it is made up of cup-shaped cells which have round nuclei. It forms linings. Where it forms? It forms in the lining of kidney tubules and the ducts of salivary glands, and where it provides mechanical support. It also forms germinal epithelium of gonads. Do you know? It helps in the absorption, excretion and secretion. Next, columnar epithelium. It is made up of tall pillar-like cells with elongated nuclei. It is usually found in the interlining of the intestine where mostly absorption and secretion occur. So, it found here. Do you know, it facilitates the movement across the epithelial barrier. Next one is ciliated columnar epithelium. When columnar epithelium cells, it possesses cilia, hair-like structures for the projections. So it is called columnar epithelium. And the cilia, what is the main function of cilia? The cilia have the ability to move. Do you know their movement pushes the substance forward like mucus? Now it is found, so where it will be found mostly? It is found in our respiratory tracts and also lines in oviducts, palm ducts, kidney tubules, etc. Next one is glandular epithelium. Now gland cells secrete substance at the epithelial surface. Sometimes the portion of epithelial tissues they fold inward, and this result there is a formation of multicellular glands. Its tissue is called glandular epithelium. What are the functions of these epithelial tissue? See, first one, do you know? It protects the underlying of the cells from dying, injury, infection, and also from harmful effects of chemicals. Second function, it plays a vital role in regulating the exchange of materials between the bodies and external environment and between the different body parts. Third, it helps in the absorption of water and nutrients and in diffusion of gases, and it helps in the elimination of waste products from the body. So now today we studied about the complex permanent tissues and animal tissue, the epithelium. In the next class I will take the connective tissues, muscular tissues and nervous tissue. Okay, thank you.